Montessa just does a beautiful job with the public. I talked to her on the phone first, and I had been looking at other places and talking to several of them, and Montessa really impressed me. She was really, really helpful. It's quite a bit of paperwork, but Montessa handles the job very, very well. She's always smiling, and every time she walks by, she waves, and she's just Montessa.
Montessa brightened my day when she came to the hospital to see me and bring me a little bouquet of flowers. It made me feel like I was a part of Bickford. Well, thank you, Montessa, for being such a friendly person, and your visit to the hospital was very uplifting and appreciated.
Montessa and I clicked right away. Our personalities are very similar, and I felt very, very open with her. It was very, very easy for me to be truly honest about my situation. The day that I said goodbye to my aunt, I went to Montessa's door, and she was welcoming me with a huge hug and was there for me. And so it meant the world to me to have her here. It was only supposed to be temporary, so Montessa was really a huge support for me and my family, especially me, to know that she really cared about me and my aunt. So yeah, it was a big, huge difference in our lives.
They had a fundraiser here, and my husband and I helped out and donated some food. I got a card thanking me in the mail, and Montessa had purchased a necklace for me. It has my grandmother's picture, her graduation picture, and on the back of it is a verse from my grandma's favorite song, How Great Thou Art, and it was very touching and personal.
The first time we met Montessa was very late on a Friday in the spring, about 9 months ago. Montessa spent at least 2 hours with us on that Friday. She made me feel comfortable and like I understood the process and what was going to happen with my father here. And by the time we left on Friday, we knew we'd found the right place for him here. Because in the end, it's not just about the systems and the policies and the procedures out here. It's about the relationships that the staff and administration here develop with the people who live here and the families behind them. But I think the thing that means the most to all of us is that you do these things not only because it's your job, but that all of these good things come from your heart. From all of us, thank you very much for all you do for everyone here.
Cheryl was my godsend. I was really between a rock and a hard place. My husband was in a nursing home, and I wanted him to be with me. She said, well, there's a waiting list, and I can't tell you when we can get you in here. I called her and told her, and I said, Cheryl, I'm going to be living under the bridge if I can't get in there right away. So she said, well, I'll do everything I can to see what I can do about it. 3 days later, she called me and said, can you move in? It was so good to have somebody who took your interests at heart and tried to do something about it.
I met Cheryl at a very desperate time in my life because my mother had not been treated well at another facility, not in this town. I needed to move her and move her quickly, and I just kind of like made a cold call, stopped in. Cheryl met me like not knowing who I was, and made a great impression for Bickford. You get the feeling that she genuinely cares about this person she's never met before.
When she brings people in to show them the place, it isn't like she's bringing them in to sell them something. She's inviting them into her home.
She's perfect. She is like a perfect person in the role she's in.
My stepfather moved in. He was from Ohio, and he moved to Kalamazoo, so Cheryl came in with a t-shirt that says, "Yes, there's a Kalamazoo," and she got him a coffee mug that said Michigan on it.
And then she dropped off, like a day later, a plant to my mother. And she wrote a nice note, and my mother was just mentioning this to me just this afternoon.
She really does a fabulous job with what she does here, but yet is very humble about it.
Cheryl, I want to thank you for giving me such a great introduction to Bickford. Without talking to you and having you ask such good questions to me about my mother and showing such an interest in what her needs were, I don't know if I would have been interested in coming to Bickford with my mother.
Cheryl, the day I walked into Bickford looking for a place for my mom, and you greeted us and you showed me and introduced me to the wonderful care my mom would get. Thank you, Cheryl, for making that entrance dignified and for welcoming us so warmly. Thank you.
Cheryl, you have just been such a pleasure in my life. And you're so good to all the people here. And you should be the winner because you are a winner.
My stepfather was close to die. He quit working, he quit eating, quit doing everything. And I told Cheryl, I gotta get him someplace before he... So she went out of her way to get him here. She got everything arranged and got him here. We got him in here and he is doing great. We probably would have lost him if it hadn't been for her. So she went out of her way. Thank you very much, Cheryl.
Amy? Oh, Amy's a sweetheart. She's always smiling. She helps you go in, and she's right there for you and answers your questions or go and do things. I had to have her look for Sam once. She went right out, and he came and got me, and she's been a real gem. Always smiling, always helpful. I love when Amy brings in her dog. It makes us remember our dog.
She was just wonderful from the moment she greeted us at the door and brought us into her office and talked to us. And every time we have come here since, from the process of saying, yes, we would like to come here and getting her in the door, always smiling, always happy, always there for us. We could always call, and we knew, even if it wasn't her job, she would answer our questions or get us to the right person.
Amy is like a part of our family, I guess you would say, because she's just always been there for us. My mother absolutely loves her dog, and I'm sure she told you about the dog in her interview. So whenever Jackpot is here, we always have to make sure we have treats for Jackpot and everything. But Amy's just always been there for my mom. Anytime my mother has a concern, any questions, my mother will always say, I went and talked to Amy, and Amy took care of everything for me. She's like the type of person you walk in and you've felt like you've known them for years.
Well, Amy, I want to thank you so much for the day that my daughter and I came in and you took us from one floor to the other floor and showed us where this was and that was and the other one. And I want to thank you that so much. And my daughter has been keeping in touch with you too, I know, and got me in here because when we went through the process of going through the place, I thought, this is it where I'm going to be taken care of. And I want to thank you so much. And you were always there, and you're so very cordial, like I say when I see you.
But Amy helped my daughter set up everything because I was in Florida, and my daughter lives around the corner here. And she just couldn't do enough for us to make everything smooth sailing and to get me in without a problem and all that. They had an opening, but it wasn't the opening that she wanted for me that I was going to get originally. But she said, you know, bring your mother in, we'll put her here temporarily, and that way she'll be able to meet the people and get a little bit familiar with it, which I thought was wonderful.
Amy, thank you for everything.
Well, I want to thank Amy for being the compassionate person she is. She's very good with the staff. She's extremely good with my husband and myself, and we love her dearly, and hopefully she'll be here for many years to come.
Jenna seems to always be happy. Always, always, always. She's always smiling. She's always saying hi to all the attendant, or the, what do you call them, people that live here, you know. She was always wanting to help him right away, because I told her about the old senior home care that wasn't taking care of him. And she says, oh no, we're going to take good care of him.
She's someone who, in the 5-6 months I've known her, has always been friendly, always, I think, gone above and beyond to try to make sure my father's comfortable, that my questions are answered. Sometimes I just sort of ask questions of her, not knowing who to go to, and before I know it, she's already solved the problem.
As people come in and come out, she's always looking for that avenue where she can fit someone in and make the experience unique for them in a way that they would fit into the community here, because it really is a community.
And I went to 3 or 4 different places, and when I came here to Bickford, she was the first person I met. And she made a very good first impression on me and answered my questions, very, very helpful in making the decision and to come here to Bickford, and I've been very pleased with that decision.
I think she is a peppy, very calming presence, very warm, very happy, has the ability to make other people feel warm and comfortable and happy, is what I would say. Takes your nerves away.
Jen, you are an amazing, amazing woman. You make my father happy for being here. You take good care of him when he's in need of any extra medical or anything. You're always right there.
Jen, I love you. You did the absolute best job you could with helping me make a difficult move for my dad when I did it. And when Dad came here, you did great with him.
I appreciate the way that you watch out for my mom and all the other residents. The joy that you bring wherever you go is contagious.
Jen, I just can't thank you enough. From the very, very beginning when I met you, the first day I came to check out Bickford and see if it was a place that I wanted my mother to come to. You were so good about following up with me with a phone call after that to see how my decision making was coming. You were so thorough in what you did and so friendly at the same time.
And from the minute I walked in the door and sat and chatted with you, I felt so comfortable, and I knew right away this was where I wanted my father to live. And a big part of it was because you were here.